Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a real pleasure to follow the gentleman for Bolton West. This Queen's speech shows an incredible level of ambition. 26 bills and no government majority to deliver them. High hopes indeed this government has for our nation. Or could it be, just possibly, that the government has no ambition at all to deliver this programme and that it is nothing more than a naked pre-election stunt? Please don't call a division on that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the Prime Minister claims to be turning on the spending taps, but the truth is that the trickle of money from the government goes nowhere near reversing the level of cuts the Conservatives have introduced since 2010. For the Welsh Government, that has meant a decade of diminishing budgets. Even with the Chancellor's extra £600 million for Wales, the Welsh Government's budget for 2021 will be £300 million lower in real terms than it was in 2010-2011. My own Neath Talbot Council have had to remove over £80 million from its budget since 2010 and are expected to find a further £42 million of cuts between now and 2023. And 28,000 local government jobs in Wales have been lost since 2010. As budget cuts have gone deeper and deeper, it has become impossible to sustain local services. Dedicated residents have volunteered to run libraries in Taibach, Britton Ferry and Cummer, as well as the Noddfa Community Centre, Gwynfi Miners Hall and the Avon Valley Swimming Pool. Whilst the government has stood by, our communities have stood up. But they should not have to. Community action should be in addition to the state, not in place of it. Fair funding also means replacing EU funding post-Brexit. Regional development funding has been absolutely critical in boosting less prosperous areas all over the UK. My Aberavon constituency is one of those areas that has benefited. Last year, I set up and I chair the all-party group on post-Brexit funding for nations, regions and local areas. And we have a real fear that the promised UK Shared Prosperity Fund that will replace EU funds will not only be a financial grab but also a power grab by a UK Tory government clawing back powers that sit naturally with the devolved administrations. The great advantage of the current EU system is that it is data-driven and evidence-based, thus guarding against pork barrel politics. There is a real worry that the SPF will become a politicised slush fund, with a Conservative government using it to buy votes in marginal seats. There is still no news on the Shared Prosperity Fund from ministers. It has already been delayed, and time is now running out for organisations on the ground who need to plan for the future. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the Welsh are a proud, resilient people. We're not looking for special treatment. We're looking for a fair deal. And that is true of people across Britain. The government likes to cite headline employment figures, but when you scratch below the surface, you see insecure work and low pay, and as a result, low productivity. In the UK economy, all that glitters is not gold. The Chancellor offers warm words on an infrastructure plan, but does this really cut the mustard after 40 years of an economy that's built on the agglomeration of wealth, power and opportunity in our major cities at the expense of industrial, rural and coastal areas? We need real change. A national investment bank with regional divisions, a green jobs revolution underpinned by a 21st century steel industry and a proper alternative to post-16 academic education. This is the whole nation politics that Britain, Wales and the people of Aberavon need and deserve. This is the vision, and the Queen's speech will fail miserably to deliver.